Hi everybody, this is SHANTH ENJETI and you're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art. I'm the creator, writer, artist of Nosfero the Cryptwalker, available on Indiegogo right now. I'm going to do something a little bit different today, something I've been thinking a lot about as I've been working on Nosfero and thinking about Pulp and the way that Pulp and our modern myths and modern heroes are being portrayed today, as well as how they were being portrayed in the past. And one of the films that I think best distills that was made 2 years before the release of the original Star Wars film in 1975, and that was Doc Savage, Man of Bronze. In 1975, they took this incredible pulp character and they made a film that would become legendary for how hokey it was, how campy it was, and how much it missed the mark. And there's a lot of reasons we could look at for why that happened, but I think the most basic is that we go through these periods where aspirational artwork isn't being made because the people who are creating it or the people who are funding it have no understanding of how to tell a true hero story. And what ends up happening is you get these winks and these nods because whenever they try to really go for it, which is what pulp, heroism, and adventure stories require, they have a tendency to then have to wink at the audience, and sometimes it gets to the point to where it's almost intolerable to watch the film. And 1975's Doc Savage is a perfect example of that. I could barely get through a couple of minutes of it. So I became so frustrated after watching this that I said, I'm going to do something I don't typically do. I've taken a fight scene at the climax of the film, and I've re-edited it, removed all of the original audio, just putting in some basic stock audio, but then layering it to give it more of a believable sense, just to show you what you can do with the footage. Right now we're going to take a look at what the actual film looked like. I want you to take a moment to see how absurd so many of the sequences are in this, and that they were filmed and put into the film shows you how campy this was from start to finish, because while I could edit certain things to make them seem more dramatic, it's certain I couldn't do it with these. I mean, there's cartoon sound effects. Boing, practically, you're expecting to hear that. You're hearing, wah, wah, wah. And when I think about the total lack of respect for this character, and the total lack of respect for our characters today, I want you to remember that these are things that happen in cycles, and you're not crazy to notice it, and it's perfectly normal to look at this stuff and feel offended by it, because heroism is important. Pulp characters define that in such a beautiful way. They give us an understanding of what heroism can be. And to insult them, to insult their ideals, to insult their beliefs, is the sign of a culture that's in decline and is in need of a renaissance. I think that's what we're doing right now, getting back to our roots, both as Western storytellers, but in particular, American storytellers. Because in many instances, these are American art forms that we're trying to rescue and reinvigorate. And we're going to do that by going to the past. And so one of the ways I thought it would be interesting to do that is to take a look at this sequence from Doc Savage and actually show you what we could do. And just for fun, even though it's not a very sophisticated matte painting, I did a quick SketchUp in Photoshop, recomposed this particular sequence, because I wanted to show you how ripe some of these old films that were presented to us in a campy fashion are for being re-edited, reinvigorated, and salvaged from the trash heap that is failed pop culture, failed nihilism, cynical parodies of these beloved icons, and then we can take this material and turn it into something that is the opposite of what the final film attempted to do. We can salvage our pulp heroes while creating our own. So thank you guys for checking this video out. Back Nosfero, we're almost to $28,000. This is Shanth Enjeti. This is Shanth Enjeti Art.